Hi guys, welcome back to Rachforreal. I need a theme song, or at least a new video. Gotta make a new video. I'm super excited. I'm super happy to be back in front of the camera. I'm being consistent. Look at me. If you read the title, you know what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about love. This video is for my undercover over lovers, as Erykah Badu would say. I'm included. I'm definitely an undercover over lover. I would say the main reason that I'm making this video is because in this generation, sometimes that feels like a bad thing. To be emotional, to be sensitive, to love. But it's not a bad thing, okay? I definitely sense that there's been a shift to this very toxic, nonchalant, I don't care about anything type of attitude. But the truth is love is biblical, okay? We should be loving. It shows in a scripture where the Pharisees asked Jesus, they said, what are the two most important commandments? And Jesus said, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. And the second most important commandment is to love thy neighbor as thyself. So if out of all the commandments, right, the two most important ones are about love, that just goes to show you how important love really is. It's not something that you should be ashamed about or something you should be upset about, because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So I really just want to tell you guys about where my foundation of love comes from, where I kind of made missteps in love, the tips that I learned. You know, I'm still young, I'm still 21, so I'm gonna have plenty more experiences. But I think I got enough to kind of do a video. This video was actually inspired by Shannon Boodram. It might be Boodram, I don't know. But she did a really great video 5 or 6 years ago that I watched. And it's the reason why I do YouTube actually. And it was really good. So I'm gonna link that video somewhere in this video so that you guys could check it out. Okay, so let's hop right into it, okay? So my foundation for love came from my parents, like most of us. And it's actually very profound. I've thought about this a lot. I actually want to write a book about it one day, because I think it really does shape us, the love that we see when we're young. So I would say that my love comes from my mom and dad in different ways. I think that I love like my dad, but I was inspired to love like my mom. So my dad and I are very passionate people. We're both very sensitive and emotional, but it's not that we're naive. We just feel things. And I think that he taught me empathy and just that deep, unconditional love. And so I think I love like my dad. However, I think that sometimes, if I'm honest, that emotion and that sensitivity, you have to be able to rein it in. So I think that I'm a continuation of my dad, and I'll improve upon the way that I love, because it's a lot, and you don't want to go pouring all this on people. You have to have some kind of refinement, some type of logic tied to it. So yeah, I definitely feel like I love like my dad, right? But my mom really showed me what real love is through the love she had for my dad. And I would say that love was what they describe as philia love. That's a best friend love. And I feel like my mom and dad, what I saw from them was more beautiful to me than seeing them in a romantic love, because it was a type of relationship and a friendship that was I got you, regardless of what you're giving me or what I am getting from you romantically. I got you. And I never heard my mom speak an ill word on my dad, and my dad the same, vice versa. So that was a beautiful thing for me to see, and it really did shape what I'm looking for, I feel and it made me want that philia love that they had. So I'm gonna talk about some of my experiences, and I'm gonna refer to them as love, but that doesn't mean that I fell in love or loved the people. It's more so me just describing what type of love it was. The first love that I really dealt with was a really strong Eros love. And that was that super romantic, hearts everywhere, hearts, I love you, I love you, I love you, nicknames. And it was just not built on any foundation. It was just you're cute, I like you like me, okay, cool. I feel both of us were just like pouring emotion, hormones, love at each other. And, you know, it was a great experience. I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, oh, it was so, you know, fake. It was real at that time. As a teenager, like, you go through that, like, really, like, passionate love. I think that's what I got from that experience, was just feeling what it feels like to just pour love and acts of service on someone without any care or any restraints. But that's also very dangerous. That's when I first learned, like, okay, just because you pour a lot of love doesn't mean that things are going to work out. Like, you can try to throw love on a situation, but you need much more than love to sustain a relationship. And, like, after that situation, I feel like it was kind of like a bubble popping, like, oh, you can't just love the love out of someone. So I realized that you have to be a little more careful. And I think that's when I started to explore with, like, playful love, like, which they call ludus love. And this type of love is like that playful, like, we know we're not gonna be together, like that temporary type of love. That was like a fun experience as well. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I should have never did that, like, it wasn't real. It's like, you meet some characters, like, there's a time and a space for it. That's when I kind of had like those playful loves, like where you just kind of texting and you know it's not going anywhere. But from those experiences, I learned that, like, I can connect with so many different people. Like, those little characters who just come for a little bit of time, they actually end up teaching you so much about yourself, like what I do and don't like. And I learned about my humor, and like some of those people might have inspired me to like start modeling, or, you know, to start believing in myself as far as my dreams. And I appreciate those people as well. And then after that, I met like another significant person that came into my life. A friend love. That's the perfect word for it. So this is actually described as philia love. And unlike Eros love, where there's like a lot of romance and desire and stuff like that, this is more of a pure love. I feel as though, like, when I came into that situation, I just liked the person. I was just like, you're just fun. I like being around you. Like, and it was a good time. Like, I don't regret like meeting that person. It was just a good time. Like, being able to just sit in a car and just laugh, and to not have the pressure of like, oh, are you gonna be faithful to me? Are you gonna cheat on me? Are you gonna love me? Do I trust you? Do you trust me? Like, it wasn't like that. You know, it wasn't that pressure. It was just like, you know what? We're choosing to be around each other because we like each other. And I think that even though we both knew like it was temporary and it wasn't gonna last like forever, I think both of us felt like, you know what? Let's get the most out of this experience. And then when it's over, like, I wish you the best. And me and that person are still cool as well. And that experience really gave me like a vision of how my future love would be. Like, I really always craved that friendship love. For me, I think sometimes the friendship love can be more important than the romantic love, you know, mainly because like romance fades. And even like in ancient times, like, they were afraid of Eros love because sometimes it was a bit reckless, and the Bible aligns with that, saying your heart is deceitful. So sometimes you might think, oh, I'm in love with this person, and it's just not that. But when it's friendship, you actually get to know the person, and I feel like friendship is like the love that you choose to have in your life. Then I met a philia love that kind of changed me. And this one doesn't have as happy of an ending as the other ones. And I told you I'm still young, so of course, like, there's more partners that I'm sure will come and kind of show me more about what I want from love. But this experience, it wasn't all negative, but it, you know, you always got one. You always find one that really just does a number on you, okay? It started off as friendship love, which is that philia love that I talked about earlier. And it really was great. Like, I feel like there was a lot of care, a lot of checking on each other, like making sure, are you good? Like, and there was no like selfish interest involved. And I think that was the main thing that I really valued about the relationship. As we got older, that love kind of shifted. So this was something that I can admit, like, growing up was kind of an obsessive love. it was kind of like a infatuation. Like you're young, you're like, oh, this person's so cool, I love this person, blah blah blah. You know, the stalking. Like I've experienced these different types of situations. Over time, it became like two different things for the two of us. And for me, I kind of dipped into the Eros side, that romantic side. He dipped into something a little different, okay? I believe that his love, his philia love that he had towards me, became this kind of like negative, like narcissistic love. If you know the Bible, you know that love is not self seeking. So, what he had for me really wasn't love at all. And there's actually a word for it called philautia, and there's two types of philautia love. The first type is kind of negative, and the second type is positive. And the negative love is associated with narcissism and ego and selfishness. And we know that that's not love at all. But for me, at the time, it felt like love. And it took me a long time to actually come to that realization, you know? For me, the reason why I ended up leaving this friendship, and like I said, this wasn't a relationship, this was a friendship. The reason I ended up leaving this friendship was because I felt like this person was using my love to feed their ego. And so I had to quickly evacuate the premises. Like, I had to quickly get up out of there because the truth is, like, I knew deep down, like, that it wasn't the love I deserved. I just think that for me, it was more important for me to prove to myself that it was the experience that I was having. From that, I learned so many things. So I'm still grateful for that experience. One, I learned the other type of philautia love, which is a positive type of love, which is self-love. And I learned how to fully love and embrace myself. I also learned that people have different capacities to love, and sometimes the love that we're giving can be overwhelming to someone. You know, I was younger and I thought, I can just keep pouring love and eventually this person will just wake up and say, wow, this person really loves me. But I learned that sometimes people say, wow, this person really loves me. Let me see how far I can push them. And that was my experience in that situation. You know, if I had to give an analogy, I would say, like, I had like a gallon of water and this person had a cup. And it's nothing wrong with either, but when you put them together, like, I'm either gonna overwhelm him or he's not gonna be able to fill me up. And so that was our situation, like, in our friendship. And I feel as though, you know, it did get to a point where I had to just forgive myself, forgive him, and walk away. That was a big thing for me. That was like a big step. And I feel like I'm a better woman because of it. And I've definitely learned more about love from dealing with that situation. And I think an important thing to mention in that is that it's nothing wrong with the fact that he had a cup, you know, and that he didn't have a lot to give. I just think that you have to find someone who has that depth that you have. Because if y'all both have a pitcher, like a gallon pitcher, whenever you're getting a little bit empty because life is just taking the water out of you, I feel like that person could fill you without emptying themselves, and then you can return the favor and you'll never run out of water, you know, and run out of love to give. I'm gonna wrap the video the same way that Shannon wrapped the video, Shannon Boudram, that I was inspired by. She was talking about what she wants from love moving forward. And I think this is important because it's all about intentionality. So I can say at this point, what I'm looking for is philia love. I'm still looking for my friend, my friendship love. And there's also a type of love called pragma love, which is actually standing in love and having a love that develops and grows and is flexible and you choose to be in it. And I think that that's something that I want a mixture of that and philia love and that Eros love. You know, I think that that would be the perfect combination for me. The reason I say that is because it's important for me to make sure that I'm not looking at someone who wants the playful love, you know, when I want romantic love, because it's not fair to them and it's not fair to me. So I think I've gotten to that point, and I know I'm still young, but I think I've gotten to that point where I'm like, you know what? If a day comes where I want that playful love, I'll know what I'm looking for. But I think it's so important as individuals, for you and me, to understand that it's okay for people to look for different things in different seasons. I think growing and maturing was me realizing that it's not their fault that they couldn't love me the way I needed to be loved. It's more so my responsibility to make sure that I'm looking for people who want the same thing that I want and have a similar capacity to love that I have. I just want that reciprocal love. Like, I want a love that is back and forth, because I think that, like, as you sharpen each other, you know, and you challenge each other and you grow and you evolve, and I just want somebody who we're on the same level, we're on the same wavelength, you know what I'm saying? I also value fun in relationships. Like, that's something I've learned from the past relationships I've had. I want something fun. Like, I want to laugh every day. Like, that is my goal, to be with a partner that makes me laugh every single day. I'm a funny girl myself, so, you know, I can return the favor. But I just want someone who values life but doesn't take it too seriously. Like, let's have fun. Let's go to Target and, like, just act crazy. And another thing that I really value is someone who loves themselves and loves God. And my dad told me when I was younger, actually, that was one of the last things he told me was, you know, a man cannot love you unless he loves himself and he loves God. And I've always carried that with me. I always understood that when things weren't working out, I was like, you know, Rach, like, he doesn't really understand you because he doesn't understand your creator. Like, he doesn't understand that you're here for a different purpose. And I think that, like, when a man knows God, it just changes him. Like, his integrity is so important to him. Like, he's not going to lie to me because he doesn't want to lie to me. Not because, oh, shoot, like, she found out last time, so I'm not going to lie. He wants it, you know? He wants to be honest. He wants to be virtuous. He wants to do the right thing when I'm not looking, because there may be things that I don't find out. And so that's super important to me. For anyone who's watching who may be in a space where they're like, dang, like, I'm really not in touch with myself, like, the lover in me, I'm not, like, very emotional, I don't, like, really feel that much for people. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think the important thing is finding people who can actually love us. Like, it's important for us to be able to say, like, hey, like, you're a great guy, super handsome, or you're a great girl, super beautiful, but we're just not, it's just not gonna work. Like, we're just not compatible, or, you know, I'm looking for something more than this, or I'm not looking for all that. I think honesty and truth in love is the most important things. With that, I feel like everything that needed to be said has been said. I feel very content. I feel very happy with what I've said. And I know that, like, one day I'll watch this video back and be like, yay, I found my love. And I can watch it with my man. Yeah. I hope this video encouraged you. I hope it leads you to do some reflection. I hope that it makes you, like, look inside of yourself and see, like, am I being served? Am I being loved the way that I want to be loved? So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this was so short. Until next time, keep it real. That might end up being my theme song. I think I'm gonna make that my theme song.